Hi friends, hello, good morning. Good morning to everyone. Welcome to our channel, The Voice of Nurse. Today we are going to discuss a continuous topic from the previous classes, nursing research and education. The nursing research and education, along with nursing research and education, we are discussing in this class only. Not only this class, part 1 and part 2, we are discussing related to the nursing research and management and statistics also. So here we are going to discuss part 3 related to the nursing research and education. Very important questions and answers with explanation. In part 3 today's class we are going to discuss from the 61 to 100 questions, means we are going to discuss 40 questions in part 3 today's class. Previous classes we finished part 1 and part 2 related to the nursing research. In part 1 we discussed question number 1 to 30 questions. 30 questions, very important question related to the nursing research and education and management, we discussed in part 1. 30 question in detail, very important questions and answers with explanation in part 1. Then part 2 we discussed from the 31 to 60 questions. 30 questions we discussed in last class. Part 2, in part 2 31 to 60 questions. 30 questions we discussed in part 2. Till now we finished 60 questions successfully related to the nursing research and education we discussed in part 2. Today we are going to discuss part 3 related to the nursing research and education and statistics related to the management of nursing also. We are discussing from this subject only, we are discussing these all many topics. Before today's class, a small request friends, before moving on to topic, a small request friends, here anybody first time watching or anybody here new to this channel, please subscribe my channel, click on the bell icon for further notification, and please share the video to your friends. Give a like and share your opinion in comment section. Let's move on to today's topic, nursing research and education, part 3 from the 61 to 100 question. 40 questions we are going to discuss. But before today's class discussion, upcoming classes, upcoming next video, what we are going to discuss, I want to ask a question to all of you. Actually we got exam date on August 2nd, so exam was conducting on 2nd August, means only we are having approximately 10 to 12 days only. So before the today's class, in upcoming classes what we are going to discuss means I will give a important topics, not FAQs, not questions and answers. I am giving important topics. If anybody want to me to take a class about important topics, not FAQs, not questions and answers, listen clearly, important topics related to this subject, nursing subjects, means I will make a video for those who are attending MHSRB exam. For the candidates only I will make very important topics from the nursing subject. If anybody here need a video by me about important topics from the nursing subjects, means please give a comment. Otherwise we will discuss only FAQs in the next class, depending upon the majority of people's opinions, likes and comments. If anybody want me to make a video like a important topics as a important topics in a one video, means a little bit short video, not lengthy video, I will make a video. Please give a comments and likes. According to the majority I will choose a FAQs or important topics video, means I will make a video. Otherwise we will discuss as usual FAQs or very important questions from the previous years, questions and answers we will discuss as usual. Let's move on to today's class, nursing research and education, part 3 from the 61 to 100 questions we are going to discuss. Question number 61. The first function of administration is. What is the first function of administration? We will see here options. Option A, organization. Option B, planning. Option C, implementation. Option D, evaluation. The basic functions of administration. What are the basic functions of administration? Means planning, organizing, directing and controlling. What type of function is administration means? It is concerned with formulation of broad objectives, plans and policies. Management is an executive function. Administration is the decision making function. Administration, we are having 7 functions of administration. We will see planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, reporting, budgeting. These all things 7 functions of administration. Here, what is the first function of management? Means planning is the primary function of the management that is performed by every manager. The management process consists of 4 primary functions that managers must perform: planning, organizing, leading and controlling. Planning provides basic of control planning. It is first function of management. The other functions like organizing, staffing, what we are discussed in functions of administration, we already discussed now. Planning is the first function of administration and management. So planning provides basic of control. Planning is the first function of management. The other functions like organizing, staffing, directing and controlling, these are the other functions of the administration. So here in this option B, planning is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 62. Clinical nursing helps to nurses. Clinical nursing helps to nurses means how the clinical nursing will help to nurses. We will see here options. Option A, to select proper procedure for efficient nursing care. Option B, to select proper care plan. Option C, to give proper care. Option D, study the problem. Getting a great nursing clinical experience is key to becoming a good nurse. This is because clinicals expose you to how to become a good career in nursing profession, improve the skills and knowledge and teach the team how to do a teamwork and help network and clarify where you want to work as a nurse. A clinical nurse specialist. A clinical nurse specialist is an advanced practice registered nurse who has earned master's or degree in nursing. They use their expertise to assess, diagnose and treat patients, but their role often extends into other areas like healthcare management and research also. Here, clinical nursing skills. The nursing skills are at the heart of providing quality care to patients. As a clinical nurse responsible for assessing patient needs, developing care plans and implementing treatments that promote positive health outcomes. Clinical learning is important to train nurses how to handle both the routine and high risk elements of the job without negatively impacting patient outcomes. Clinical training is extremely important in nursing care as it prepares students to deal with real patients and expand their knowledge. They have to obtain knowledge from the clinical training. So here in this option A is the correct answer. Clinical nursing helps to nurses to select proper procedure for a efficient nursing care. The stimulation helps to develop different scenarios requiring the use of both clinical skills and critical thinking skills by nurses. Here in this option A is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 63. Analysis of data. What is meant by analysis of data? We will see here options. Option A, the process by which the researcher summarizes group. Option B, the process by which the researcher summarized and analyzes the collected data. Option C, about collected data. Option D, none of the above. Here, what is meant by data analysis or analysis of data? We will see first. Data analysis. Analysis of data is the process of inspecting, cleansing, transforming and modeling data with the goal of discovering useful information, informing conclusions and supporting decision making. The data analysis is used to make a purposeful discoveries, suggest conclusions, support decision making and support our previous studies. For example, for the analysis of data, researchers want to understand the relationship between the classrooms that use hands-on activities in mathematics. Here we are having the data analysis in 5 steps. Step 1 is define questions and goals. Step 2 is collection of data. Step 3 was data wrangling. Step 4 determine analysis. Step 5 interpret results. The data analytics is the process of collecting, cleansing, sorting and processing raw data to extract relevant and valuable information to help the further research. Data analysis is the practice of working with data, useful information which can then use it to make informed decisions. Here option 2 is the correct answer. The process of analysis data is researcher summarized and analyzes the collected data. For the research, further research purpose, we have to analyze the data. So here in this option B is the correct answer. Next we'll move on to question number 64. Professor Lathar Gulick. Professor name was Lathar Gulick. We already discussed related to the Lathar Gulick related to the postcard in the previous part 2 class only. We will see here what was there. Professor Lathar Gulick, 1937, summed up certain elements in the word which consist of. According to the Professor Lathar Gulick, 1937, summarized certain elements. The word was from the options. Just now I said postcard. We already discussed related to the postcard in the part 2 related to the nursing research. Postcard means, what is meant by postcard means planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, reporting and budgeting. Briefly we will see here in this question number 64. Why? Because we already discussed in part 2. The theory of organization therefore has to do with a promotion of coordination among different units of an organization created by the principle of division of work. Gulick says that division of work and integration are the bootstraps by which mankind lifts in the process of civilization. Postcorp is an acronym widely used in the field of management and public administration that reflects the classic view of organizational theory. It is appeared most prominently in the year of 1937 paper by Lathar Gulick. However, he first presented the concept in the year of 1935 itself. So here the Professor Lathar Gulick 1937 summed up certain elements in the word was postcorp. It is consist of planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, reporting and budgeting. So here in this option B is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 65. A research report is a research report is a. We will see here options. Option A, written document or oral presentation. Option B, written report. Option C, providing new information. Option D, all of the above. Research reports are recorded data prepared by researchers or statisticians after the analyzing the information gathered by conducting organized research, typically in a form of surveys or qualitative methods. Reports in research are recorded data prepared by research following the analysis of information gathered by carrying out organized research. An average in the appearance of surveys or qualitative methods. The purpose of research report to communicate the findings of research studies to a wider audience. The report should be clear, concise and well organized so that readers can easily understand the information presented. Research report is a document summarizes and provides analysis of the findings of research project. Research report is normally organized into 3 broad sections. First one was introduction, provides brief background on the topic and introduces the reader to your perspectives. Second one was The second section is the body of the report, which should include the research findings and supporting evidence. A research report is a well crafted document that outlines the processes, data, and findings of a systematic investigation. The important document that serves first hand account of the research process, typically considered a objective and accurate source of information. A research reports are recorded data prepared by researchers or statisticians after analyzing the information gathered by conducting organized research. So here option A, written document or oral presentation, will comes under the research report. So here in these options, option A is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 66. Surveys are used for. Surveys are used for. We will see here options. Option A, obtained about community. Option B, obtained about place. Option C, symmetrical obtained data from human being. Option D, consistency. What is meant by surveys? We already discussed related to the surveys in previous classes only. We will see here surveys are valuable tool for the collecting data from a specific target audience, allowing researchers to gather important information and insights that can be used to inform decisions and strategies. Surveys are valuable tool for the collecting data from the specific target audience. A survey is a method of collecting information from the audience with the aim of learning more about them. Surveys provide a critical source of data and insights for the everyone engaged in the information economy, from businesses to media to government and academies. Surveys are regularly used to make individual decisions like whether to run a particular advertising campaign to create a new things. The collection of information from the targeted group of people about their opinions and behavior or knowledge. Here, the surveys can be easily adapted to collect both quantitative and qualitative data. Use a variety of questions types such as multiple choice, Likert scale, drop downs, ranking, open ended, and more to obtain all information what you need from them you can get from the through the survey. So here in this option C, symmetrical obtained data from the human beings is the correct answer. Surveys means collecting the data from the information, collected data or information from the human beings or particular in the group of people. So here in these options, option C is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 66. Coding is the process by which. Coding is the process by which of the following. We will see here option. Option A, original data are transformed into symbols. Option B, process of arranging data. Option C, process of removing errors. Option D, none of the above. What is meant by coding? We will see now what is meant by coding. Coding is the process of transforming ideas, solutions, and instructions into the language that the computer can understand. That is binary machine code. Coding is how humans are able to talk with computers. Nothing but coding means the process of transforming ideas, solutions, and instructions into the particular language. This coding is a process by which we tell computers what to do. Means coding creates a set of instructions for computers to follow. These instructions determine the actions a computer can and cannot take. Coding allows programmers to build programs such as websites and apps. Computer programs also can tell computers how to process the data in better, faster ways. This option A is the correct answer. Coding is the process by which original data are transformed into the symbols. We are having 4 steps in the coding in the process. First step is understanding the problem. Second step was create a step-by-step plan for how you will solve it. Step 3, carry out the plan and write the actual code. Step 4 was look back and possibly refactor your solution if it is could be better. Here, coding is the process of transforming the design of a system into the computer language format. Here option A is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 68. The research has to gather information. the researcher has to gather information. We will see here option. Option A, interpret data of earlier research. Option B, concepts. Option C, methods and procedures. Option D, competence. Information collection methods include surveys, interviews, tests, physiological assessments, observations, existing record reviews, and biological samples. A survey is a set for research participants to answer. What is data collection? The process by which the researcher collects the information needed to answer the research problem. The methods of gathering data. The main techniques for gathering data are observation, interviews, questionnaires, schedules, and surveys. Researcher has to gather information. Systematic method of collecting and measuring data gathered from different sources of information in order to provide answers to relevant questions. An accurate evaluation of collected data can help researchers predict future phenomena and trends. Gathering information describes the process of acquiring knowledge. It is not the knowledge itself. When a portion of story focuses on learning, it is the gathering of education that is concerned, not the education that ultimately has been gathered. Gathering information need not to be academic endeavor. Researcher has to gather information through the methods and procedures. Through the methods and procedures, they have to gather information from the researcher participants. So here in this option C is the correct answer, methods and procedures. Next we will move on to question number 69. Assumption is a. Assumption is a. What is meant by assumption? We will see. Before that we will see options. Option A, declaration of the expected outcome of research study. Option B, realistic expectations. Option C, communicating the results. Option D, all of the above. Meaning of assumption: something that is believed to be true or probably true, but that is not known to be true. Something was believed. This is assumption. Something that is assumed. I made the assumption that he was coming, so I was surprised when he did not show up. Then he will come home tomorrow. At least that's my assumption. Means something we are believing itself, that is assumed. Assumption used for the statement of assumption is presumed to be true without concrete evidence to support it. In the business world, assumptions are used in a wide variety of situations to enable companies to plan and make decisions in the face of uncertainty. Something that you accept as a true without question or proof. People tend to make assumption about when you have a disability. Here option A is the correct answer, declaration of the expected outcome of research study. Assumption is a accepting things as they are in fact and not making decision based on unlikely hopes for. See more at realistic and assumption. Here option A is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 71. The main sources of research problem are. What are the main sources of research problem? We will see here option A, pilot study. Option B, nursing literature. Option C, data processing. Option D, planning. The sources of research problems. The major sources of nursing research problems includes nursing practice, nursing education, and nursing administration. Societal trends, researcher and peer interactions, literature reviews, theory, and one's personal conceptual frameworks. What is the main sources of research problem means? Here nursing literature is the correct answer. A research problem is definite or clear expression or statement about an area of concern, condition to be improved upon, difficulty to be eliminated, or a troubling question that exists scholarly literature in theory or within existing practice that points to need for meaningful understanding and deliberate. A research problem is a specific issue or gap in existing knowledge that the aim to address in the research. You may choose to look for practical problems aimed at contributing to change or theoretical problems aimed at expanding knowledge. Option B, nursing literature is the correct answer. What is meant by nursing literature? A literature review is important because presents the state of the science or accumulated knowledge on a specific topic. It is summarizes, analyzes and compares the available research, reporting studies, strengths and weaknesses, results, gaps in the research, conclusions and authors' interpretations. Literature reviews, literature in nursing. Literature reviews aims to answer focused questions to inform professionals and patients of the best available evidence when making healthcare decisions, influence policies and identify future research priorities. Here in these options, option B is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 71. Delimitation. What is meaning of delimitation? We will see here options first. Option A, specific direction of the relationship between the variables. Option B, realistic expectations. Option C, describes particular study of boundaries. Option D, structural presentation. Here what is meant by delimitation? The delimitations are in essence the limitations consciously set by authors themselves. They are concerned with the definition that the researcher decided to set as the boundaries or limits of their work so that the study's aims and objectives do not become impossible to achieve. Specifically, the delimitations in the research, the delimitation of study refers to the scope of the research aims and research questions. In other words, delimitations reflect the choices you as the researcher intentionally make in terms of what you will and won't try to achieve with your study. The delimitations of the coverage of the study means, what is the delimitation of the coverage of the study means? Delimitations are factors and variables not included in the study, particularly boundaries. All scientific research has boundaries, whether or not the others clearly explain them. Study scope and delimitations are the selections where you define the broader parameters and boundaries of the research. Here the delimitations is the describes particularly study of the boundaries. Here in this option, option C is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 72. The purpose of nursing research is, what is the purpose of nursing research? We will see here options. Option A, clearly identify the phenomenon. Option B, social relevance. Option C, to understand the consultative factor. Option D, professionalism. Here the nursing research develop knowledge about health and promotion of health over the full lifespan, care of person with health problems and disabilities, and nursing action to enhance the ability of individuals to respond effectively to actual or potential health problems. The general purpose of nursing research is to answer the questions or solve problems of relevance to the nursing profession. The specific purposes of nursing research includes identification, description, exploration, explanation, prediction and control. These all are the specific purposes of nursing research. The purposes of research comes under the identification, discrimination and exploration, explanation, prediction and control. Here to solve a problem, to make a decision, to develop a new program, product and methods, to evaluate program and methods. So here we are having first purpose in identification. Clearly identify the phenomenon is there in these options. So here the purposes of nursing research will come option A, clearly identify the phenomenon. So here in this option, option A is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 73. Ethical is the science which deals with. Ethical is the science which deals with ethics. We will see here options. Option A, rules or principles governing the individual. Option B, rules or principles governing in the right conduct. Rules or written principles. Option D, rules or rights. Ethics is a branch of study that deals with moral principles and values. It is the rules to determine what is right, what is wrong. Ethics is the philosophical science which studies morality and in the general morals as one of the most important aspects of the research. Here, ethics is a branch of science that deals with moral principles and values. Philosophical discipline concerned with what is morally good and bad and morally right and wrong. Since then, ethics has become one of the major topics Western philosophy when debating social and individual values and their relationship. Ethical is the science which deals with rules or principles governing the right conduct. The ethics or moral philosophy, here option C is the correct answer. Ethics or moral philosophy is the branch of philosophy that involves systematizing, defending and recommending concepts of right and wrong behavior. Here option B, rules or principles governing the right conduct is the ethical is the science which deals with option B. Here option B is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 74. Which of the following studies would require the largest sample size? From the following studies, which of the following studies would require largest sample size? We will see here options. Option A, grounded theory. Option B, convenience. Option C, phenomenological. Option D, correlational. Here, which of the following study type would require the largest sample size means descriptive studies and correlational studies requires a very large samples. In these studies, multiple variables may be examined and extraneous variables are likely to affect subjects' responses to the variables under the study. The goal, therefore, is to have a large enough sample size in a qualitative study that were able to uncover a range of options, but to cut the sample size off at the number where we're getting saturation and repetitive data. Often a sample size is considered large enough if it is greater than or equal to 30, but this number can vary a bit based on the underlying shape of the population distribution. In particular, if population distribution is symmetric, sometimes a sample size is small as 15 is sufficient. Here, which of the following studies would require the largest sample method? Here means option D, correlational sampling method, and also descriptive studies. In descriptive studies and correlational studies often require very large samples. Here in this option, option D is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 75. A method of analyzing qualitative data that involves an interactive approach to testing research hypotheses. A method of analyzing qualitative data that involves an interactive approach to testing research hypothesis. Which of the following? We will see here options. Option A, theoretical. Option B, audit. Option C, analysis induction. Option D, axial coding. What is the method of analyzing qualitative data means? Here the qualitative data analysis approaches refers to the process of systematic descriptive data collected through interviews, surveys and observation and also interpreting it. The method aims to identify patterns and themes behind the textual data. A method of analyzing qualitative data that involves an interactive approach to testing research hypothesis is analysis induction. Here option C is the correct answer. Several methods are used to collect qualitative data including interviews, surveys, focus groups and observation. Understanding the various methods used to gather qualitative data is essential for the successful quantitative research. Here what is meant by analysis induction or analytic induction? Analytic induction is the research strategy in sociology aimed at systematically developing causal explanations for types of phenomena. It was first outlined by Giannicchi in 1934. He contrasted it with the kind of enumerative induction characteristics of statistical analysis. So here option C, analysis induction is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 76. What is insider views in research? What is the insider views in research? We will see here option A, members of organization or community, option B, group, option C, A and B, option D, none of the above. What is meant by insider views in research? Insider researcher is the member of the group, organization or community where they are conducting the study and as such may be assumed to have a greater access to information, respondents and data than researcher who is external to the research setting. Insider's points of view. Research. The insider perspectives viewpoints from individual within a place or who lives there and has an experience of a place. Consider where you live now. You may have lived there a long time. The environment is familiar. Additionally, we have to know outsider view in research. First we will see insider view, then outsider view we will see. A researcher is considered insider when he or she shares particular attributes within the participants of the study is called as insider views. A researcher is considered an outsider when she or he does not belong to the group to which the participants belongs outside of the viewers. Here insider views means group, organization, community. Members of the group, organization, community where they are conducting the study is called as insider views. So here in these options, option C is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 77. Which of the following is not a type of non-probability sampling? Here from the following option, which one is not a type of non-probability sampling? We will see here options. Option A, network sampling. Option B, stratified random sampling. Option C, quote sampling. Option D, convenience sampling. Type of sampling will comes under the probability and non-probability sampling. We have to know before this discussion. Actually, if we know what is non-probability and probability sampling methods means we will get an answer clearly. Here what is meant by non-probability sampling we will see first. Non-probability sampling is defined as a sampling technique in which the researcher selects samples based on the subjective judgment of the researcher rather than the random selection. Here the meaning of non-probability sampling is a method of selecting units from a population using a subjective method. This is called as non-probability sampling. What is probability sampling? Additionally, we will see probability sampling means that every member of the target population has a known chance of being included in the sample. Probability sampling methods include simple random sampling, systemic sampling, stratified sampling and cluster sampling. These all things comes under the probability sampling techniques. But here we are having this question non-probability sampling. In non-probability sampling question we are having the techniques like quota sampling, convenience sampling, purposive sampling, self-selection sampling and snowball sampling. So here stratified random sampling is not there, not included in the non-probability sampling. Here which of the following is not a type of non-probability sampling means stratified random sampling is not. No, stratified random sampling is not the type of non-probability sampling. What is meant by stratified random sampling we will see now. Stratified random sampling is a type of probability sampling using which researchers can divide the entire population into the numerous strata. Stratified random sampling is a type of probability method using which researcher organizer can branch off entire population into the multiple non-overlapping homogeneous groups and randomly choose final members from the various strata for research, which reduces cost and improves efficiency. Non-probability sampling methods includes convenience or haphazard sampling, volunteer sampling, judgment sampling, quota sampling, snowball or network sampling, crowdsourcing sampling, web panels, advantages and disadvantages of non-probability sampling. These all things comes under the non-probability sampling methods. Here in this option B is the correct answer. Stratified random sampling is not a type of non-probability sampling. Next we will move on to question number 78. A branch of qualitative research associated with the field of. A branch of qualitative research is associated with field of. We will see here options. Option A, epistemology. Option B, ethnography. Option C, anthropology. Option D, etymology. Qualitative research is associated with the data analysis throughout the data collection process, but quantitative research is concentrated on data analysis after it has been collected. We are having different fields of qualitative research. Those are action research, phenomenological, ethnography, case study, narrative model, grounded theory, focuses group, and historical. These all things comes under the qualitative research different fields. Here qualitative, in this question, qualitative research important in field of medicine is qualitative research helps to understand the patterns of health behaviors, describes illnesses experiences, design health interventions and develop healthcare theories. The qualitative research is in ethnography. Here option B, ethnography, is the correct answer. What is meant by ethnography? Branch of qualitative research is associated with the field of ethnography. Ethnography is a research method central to knowing the world from the standpoint of its social relations. It is a qualitative research method predicted on the diversity of culture at home and abroad. Additionally, we will see here the option A, C and D. Epistemology. What is meant by epistemology? In simple terms, epistemology is the theory of knowledge and deals with how knowledge is gathered and from which source. This is the meaning of epistemology. Option B, ethnography, means simply study of people in their own environment through the use of methods such as participant observation and face-to-face interviewing. Next option C, what is meant by anthropology. Anthropological research deals largely with qualitative aspects and focuses on the creation and transmission of meaning. The meaning is mediated through the language and action. The best way to understanding this through observation and engagement, that difficult through the more traditional research methods. What is meant by etymology? Etymology means investigates and documents the lives of words. Etymology is a word may include many things. A word's birthday is usually given as the date of first known usage of the word in print. If a word like selfie was created within the historical times, its origin is described. Etymology means investigates and documents the lives of words. In these options, option B is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 79. What does mean by meta-analysis? What is the meaning of meta-analysis? We will see here options. Option A, open coding. Option B, text analysis. Option C, survey. Option D, statistical process. What is meant by meta-analysis? We will see first. Meta-analysis is an examination of data from a number of independent studies of the same subject in order to determine overall trends. What does mean by meta-analysis? Means statistical process that combines the data of multiple studies to find common results and identify overall trends. Meta-analysis uses statistical methods to summarize the results of independent studies by combining information from all relevant studies on the some topic. A meta-analysis can estimate the effects of given intervention more accurately than each study individually. Meta-analysis refers to the statistical analysis of data from independent primary studies focused on the same question, which aims to generate a quantitative estimate of studied phenomenon. For example, for the meta-analysis is effectiveness of the interventions. Here, what does mean by meta-analysis? To establish statistical significance with studies that have conflicting results. Here in these options, option D is the correct answer. What does mean by meta-analysis? Means statistical process. Here in this option D is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 80. Another term used for cluster sampling. Another term is used for the cluster sampling. We will see here options. Option A, random sampling. Option B, purposive sampling. Option C, quota sampling. Option D, multi-stage sampling. Cluster sampling is also called as multi-stage sampling, as sample clusters are selected at the first stage and then further elements are sampled from selected clusters. Take the example of researcher looking to understand smartphone usage in Germany. In this case, the cities of Germany will form clusters. This sampling method is also used in the wars and natural climates to draw inference about a population where collecting data from every individual residing in is impossible. Cluster random sampling is a probability sampling method where researchers divided a large population into smaller groups known as clusters. The sample survey methods of cluster sampling is collected area sampling, where the clusters are countries, townships, city blocks, or other well-defined geographic sections of the population. Cluster sampling is a probability sampling technique where researchers divided population into the multiple groups is called as clusters. Cluster sampling, other name for the cluster sampling is multi-stage sampling. So here in these options, option D is the correct answer, multi-stage sampling. If all elements in each sampled cluster are sampled, then this is referred to as one-stage cluster sampling plan. If a simple random subsampling elements means it will come under the second stage. Here, another term for used for the cluster sampling is multi-stage clustering or multi-stage sampling. So here option D is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 81. The committee that focuses on nursing. Here which of the following committee will focuses on the nursing? We will see here options. Option A, Bohr committee. Option B, Mukherjee committee. Option C, Khattar committee. Option D, Vardapan committee. High power committee on nursing and nursing profession is Vardarayan committee or Vadapan committee, sometimes called as Sarojini Vadapan committee, from 1987 to 1989, set up by the Government of India in July 1987 under the chairmanship of Jyoti, former Vice Chancellor of SNDT Women University. Nursing is a healthcare profession that focuses on the care of individuals and their families to help them recover from illness and maintain optimal health and quality of life. Nurses are distinct from other healthcare providers as they have a wide scope of practice and approach to medical care. Here, the nursing research and evidence-based practice in the community must give its approval for the research to be done within the department. This committee is charged with assuring that the rights and welfare of patients and nursing professionals are protected. Here, option D is the correct answer. The committee that focuses on nursing is Sarojini Vadapan committee. Here, option D is the correct answer. Various committees experts have been appointed by the government from the time to time to render advice about different health problems. The reports of these committees have formed an important basis of health planning in India. So here option D is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 82. Libel defamation is, what is mean by libel defamation? We will see here option A, written order about self. Option B, spoken words about character. Option C, method of expressed by print. Option D, speaking about patient. Here what is mean by libel? We will see first what is mean by libel. Libel is a method of defamation expressed by print, writing, pictures, signs, or any communication embodied in physical form that is injurious to the person's reputation, exposes a person to public hatred, injures a person in his or her business or profession. Libel is a method of defamation expressed by the print, writing, pictures, signs, and anything from the communication. So here option C is the correct answer. Libel, defamation. Defamation means defamatory statement that is written. Libel and slander are both types of defamation we are having. Libel is an untrue defamatory statement that is made by in written form. Slander is untrue defamatory statement that is spoken by orally. So here option C is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 83. VED stands for, what is meant by VED? We will see here options. Option A, valuable, estimated, desirable. Option B, vital, estimated, desirable. Option C, vital, essential, desirable. Option D, valuable, essential, desirable. Here VED stands for vital, essential, desirable. These three levels to define the importance and vitality of the inventory SKUs. Based on their criticality, the items could be classified into three categories. Those are vital, essential, and desirable. Means VED is option. VED means vital, essential, desirable. Means here option C is the correct answer. Best example for the VED classification of inventory is medical inventory. Hospitals need to keep updating and maintaining the stock of medicines required by patients. Vital, essential, desirable. These are the analysis prioritized items based on the critical services values and items storage cost. The methods is used to categorize items into the three groups. These are the important emergency items. VED analysis is a popular inventory management strategy that classifies material according to their criticality for the business into the three levels. VED stands for vital, essential, and desirable. This analysis is relates to the classification of maintenance spare parts and denotes essentially of the equipments, enables of company to focus its attention and resources on these items that are most essential to the its success. By mistakenly I didn't mention here option correct answer, just mark it. Option C is the correct answer. Vital, essential, desirables. Here option C is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 84. Permanent termination of the service of a workmanship is called as. Here the person is working as in a service, so he is doing a service of a workmanship like. Permanent terminated that person is called as. We will see here options. Option A, dismissal. Option B, discharge. Option C, warning. Option D, fine. Nothing but here termination also called as dismissal. The word termination is also called as dismissal. Dismissal means is the termination of employment by an employer against the will of the employee. So here the termination is also called as dismissal. Dismissal is a termination of employment by an employer against the will of the employee. Though such a decision can be made by an employer for a variety of reasons ranging from an economic downturn to performance related problems on the part of employee being fired has a strong stigma in some cultures. Here what is meaning of dismissal? Dismissal is the act of ordering or allowing someone to leave. Nothing but allowing someone to leave. Dismissal is a decision that something or someone is not important and not worth considering. The term dismissed is defined in the Fair Work Act as a situation where a person's employment has been terminated at the employer's initiative or a person was forced to resign because of the conduct or course of conduct engaged in by the employer. Termination or dismissal is an action taken by the employer to end the employment relationship. So here option A, dismissal, is the correct answer. Dismissal nothing but sending away of someone, permission to go. So here permanent termination of the service of workmanship is called as dismissal. So here option A is the correct answer. Next we'll move on to question number 85. Purposive sampling. Purposive sampling is also known as other name for the purposive sampling. We will see here options. Option A, quota sampling. Option B, snowball sampling. Option C, judgmental sampling. Option D, voluntary sampling. What is purposive sampling? Purposive sampling is a type of non-probability sample, and it's also referred to as judgmental or expert sample. A purposive sample is a non-randomly selected and typically smaller subset of the population intended to represent it logically. Purposive sampling is a non-probability method for obtaining a sample, whereas researchers use their expert to choose specific participants that will be help the study to meet a or reach a goals. Purposive samples is used to extensively for educational research. For example, using a student feedback survey to collect the students' inputs about the education system, their choice of subject, the content, and literally anything else. Here, purposive sampling is also known as judgmental sampling, selective or subjective sampling. The other name for the purposive sampling, judgmental sampling, and selective or subjective sampling is a form of non-probability sampling in which researchers rely on their own judgment when choosing members of people's population to participate in their survey. Here, the purposive sampling is also known as judgmental sampling. This sampling method relies on the researcher's judgment when identifying and selecting the individuals. So here in this option C is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 86. Crossover design is also known as. Crossover design is also known as. We will see here options. Option A, repeated measures. Option B, factorial. Option C, randomized block design. Option D, post test only design. What is meaning of crossover design? We will see now. A crossover design is a repeated measurements design. Repeated measurement design such that each experimental unit or patient receives different treatments during the different time periods. Example, the patients cross over from one treatment to another treatment during the course of trial. Crossover design is also known as a type of clinical trial in which all participants receive the same two or more treatments, but the order in which they receive them depends on group to which they are randomly assigned. Randomized trials. A crossover design is one in which each subject receives each treatment in successions. So here crossover design is also known as option A, repeated measures is the correct answer. A crossover design is a repeated measurements design such as each experimental unit receives different treatments during the different times or different periods. Crossover design are a mixture of within and between groups design and have already been discussed in the context of control techniques in the cross design over repeated measures. So here in these options, option A is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 87. Area sampling is a form of. Area sampling is a form of. We will see here options. Option A, quota sampling. Option B, cluster sampling. Option C, judgmental sampling. Option D, purposive sampling. Area sampling is a form of which areas serve as a primary sampling units. The population is divided into mutually exclusive and extensive area using maps and random sample of area is selected. Area sample a form of Method of sampling used when no complete frame of reference is available. The total area under investigation is divided into small sub areas which are sampled at random or according to a restricted process, means stratified sampling method. Area sampling is also known as cluster sampling. Sample survey methods of cluster sampling is called as area sampling, where the clusters are countries, townships, city blocks, other well-defined geographic sections of the population. Area sampling aims to obtain accurate picture and representation of an entire population by considering geographical, cultural and socio-economic differences between the different locations. Here, area sampling is a form of cluster sampling. Next, we will move on to question number 88. What does mean by HMIS? What does HMIS stands for? We will see options first. Option A, Human Manpower Information System. Option B, Health Management Information System. Option C, Human Management Information Studies. Option D, Health Manpower Information System. HMIS is a popular name given to a hardware and software combination that allows human operators to interact with a machine or system. The HMIS is to record information on health events and check the quality of services at different levels of healthcare. The importance of patient assessment is a part of the concept of giving importance to patients' views in the improving the quality of health services. The HMIS plays major role in the recorded information related to the health events. HMIS means Health Management Information System. Health Management Information System are one of the 6 building blocks essential for health system. Strengthening HMIS is a data collection system. HMIS, Health Management Information System, and also Hazardous Material Information System and Hospital Management Information System also will come. But here we are having HMIS stands for option B, Health Management Information System is the correct answer. HMIS is a numerical hazard rating that incorporates use of labels with color developed by the researcher. So here option B is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 89. Democrat style of supervision encourages what in workers, means here Democrat style of supervision will encourages in the workers. What will encourage? We will see here option A, workload. Option B, discipline. Option C, initiative. Option D, observation. They will encourage means Democrat style of supervision will encourages conversation and participation in the decision making process. This leadership style is used across industries and organizations, from the corporate world to government and education. Most large organizations today include element of participative leadership. Democratic leadership style is a combination of autocratic and laissez-faire. A democratic leader is someone who asks for input and considers feedback from their team before making a decision. This leadership style is often credited with fostering higher levels of employee engagement and workplace satisfaction. Here we use democratic leadership and why we will use democratic leadership styles in working place. When team leaders chosen to use the democratic leadership style, their team members are more likely to be satisfied with their jobs. This is because democratic leadership allows for anyone's thoughts and opinions to be shared. Means initiation is there, initiative is there. Here the democratic leadership allows for everyone's thoughts and opinions to be shared and valued. So here the Democrat style of supervision encourages the initiative. Option C is the correct answer. Initiative in the workers. A teacher with a democratic classroom leadership style encourages pupils' involvement in the process of making agreed decision and behaviors. This is the example for the democratic style of supervision. The democratic leaders encourages their employees to think creatively and are adaptable to new solutions and changing existing processes. With a democratic leadership styles, everyone is given to opportunity to participate ideas and exchange freely ideas. Discussion is encouraged in this process of supervision is commonly they will use. This style values collaboration, encourages open communication among team members. This is the best thing in democratic leadership style. So here option C is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 90. Parametric tests used. The parametric tests used. We will see here options. Option A, to test the interval and ratio. Option B, difference between groups. Option C, to compare data in intervals. Option D, none of the above. Parametric tests are used only where a normal distribution is assumed. The most widely used tests are the t-test, ANOVA, linear regression and Pearson rank correlation. When should a parametric test be used? If the mean more accurately represents the center of the distribution of your data and your sample size is large enough, use a parametric test. If the median more accurately represents the center of the distribution of your data, use non-parametric test even if you have large sample size. Parametric tests are those that make assumptions about the parameters of the population distribution from which the sample is drawn. This is often the assumption that the population data are normally distributed. Non-parametric tests are distribution free and as such can be used for non-normal variables. Here, parametric statistics require the assumption of a normal population or distribution. They are used with interval, level and ratio data. So here interval, level and ratio data we are having in option A. Examples are t-test, which determines if the statistical differences between the mean score of two groups is significant. Here we are having four types of parametric test. Those are two sample test, paired t-test, analysis of variance means ANOVA, variance coefficient of correlation. These all are the parametric test. Here parametric test is used with interval, level and ratio data. So here option A is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 91. Skew distribution shows. Skew distribution will shows. We will see here options. Option A, data are not distributed symmetrically between right and left halves. Option B, score are not clustered. Option C, the distribution is determined by the mean. Option D, none of the above. Here what is meant by skewed distribution we will see. A distribution is positively skewed when its tail is more pronounced on the right side than its one left side. Since the distribution is positive, the assumption is that its value is positive. As such, most of values end up positive as the mean. This means that the most extreme values are on the right side. What determines the skew of distribution? The distributions mean the left. The distribution mean to the left is usually the best way to define and determine skewness, because measuring the distribution of the values around the mean can tell you if the chart skews and direction of its skewness. Here, right skew distribution has a long right tail. Right skew distributions are also called as positive skew distribution. Here, skew distribution shows data are not distributed symmetrically between the right and left halves. Option A is the correct answer here. A skewed distribution is where one tail is longer than another. These distributions are sometimes called as asymmetric or asymmetrical distributions. When something is skewed, particularly a distribution, it means that the curve of the data on a histogram is asymmetrical. A skewed distribution occurs one tail is longer than the other. Skewed distribution is neither symmetric nor normal because the data values trail off more sharply on one side than one another. So here option A is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 92. Citing internet and other electronic resources. What is the citing internet and other electronic sources from the following? We will see first options. Option A, websites. Option B, electronic journals. Option C, database. Option D, all of the above. What is citing internet and other electronic resources means? Articles from online publications and databases often provide an author's name and credentials so that you can evaluate the author's reliability as a source. Here we got an answer, articles from online publication and databases. So here option C is the correct answer. What we mean by database, we will see. Citation databases are collections of referenced papers or articles, books and other material entered into the online system means database in a structured and consistent way. This is called as database. Author's first name, last name, title of articles, title of general volume, these all things comes under the internet database. The general form of citation from a internet source is author's name, title of document, title of website. Here option C, database is the correct answer. Common citation elements for electronic resources includes author or editor, publication or update date, articles title, journal title, volume and or pages, a source of statement, date you accessed the resource online, citations of articles in magazines, journals and newspapers. These all things comes under the database. So here in these options, option C, database is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 93. Master sheet is a. We will see options. Option A, transferring information from an interview schedule to a card. Option B, collection of data by the interviewer in the field. Option C, application of statistical procedure. Option D, collection of data by analysis. Here, what is a master worksheet? Marker sheet or master worksheet? We understand you want to link your one sheet to other sheets in the same workbook. So one sheet acts as a master while the other sheet work as a destination sheet. Here contain the merged data from the open spreadsheets. What does sheet works? You can create and edit spreadsheets directly in your web browser. No special software is required. Multiple people can work simultaneously. You can see people changes as they make them. Every change is saved automatically. Master sheet is a transferring information from an interview schedule to a card. In Microsoft Excel, a sheet is often called as worksheet. A sheet is single page that contains own collection of cells to help you organize your data. Master sheet is a transferring information from the interview to schedule. Option A is the correct answer. Next we'll move on to question number 94. Diagrammatic presentation of data. From the following option, which one is the diagrammatic presentation of data? We will see here options. First, option A, bar diagram. Option B, pie diagram. Option C, pictogram. Option D, all of the above. The diagrammatic presentation, it is a technique of presenting numeric data through pictograms. cartograms, bar diagrams, and pie chart or pie diagrams. It is the most attractive and appealing way to represent statistical data also. The types of diagrammatic data is used to representation of data, line diagrams, bar diagrams, pie charts, and other few others. And also these used represent facts. They make it easier for the students and understanding certain information. The diagrammatic data representation makes too easy for the common man to understand the data. Diagrams are usually attractive and impressive, and many newspapers and magazines use them frequently to explain certain facts or phenomena. Modern advertising campaigning also uses diagrams. The diagrammatic representation of the data or diagrammatic presentation of data are here option D. All of the above is the correct answer. Not only these three bar diagram, pie charts and pie diagrams or pie charts, pictograms, we are having additionally rectangles, subdivided rectangles and circle diagrams. Circle diagrams also called as pie chart or pie diagrams here. In the graphic presentation of data, graphs like histograms, frequency polygon, frequency curves, cumulative frequency polygon, and graphs of time series are used. Here, diagrammatic presentation. Who is father of diagrammatic presentation means John Venn was an English mathematician, logician, and philosopher noted for introducing Venn diagram, which are used in logic, set theory, probability, statistics, and computer science. Here, who is known as father of diagrammatic presentation means additionally I am mentioning here John Venn. He is father of diagrammatic presentation, John Venn. Next we will move on to question number 95. Limitations or what is limitations from the following? We will see here options. Option A, aspects of research. Option B, end of the study. Option C, a act or instance of limiting. Option D, study of boundaries. The word limitations of something is the act or process of controlling or reducing it. The limitation, the word limitation means an act or instance of limiting or equality or state of being limited. A limitation could also be a rule that restricts what you can do, like needing to be a certain height to ride a roller coaster at the amusement park. It can also be a circumstance that hampers you, like a dead car that keeps you from traveling very far from home. Limited limitations. A limit something that is imposed. Limitation means it is a shortcoming or incapability to achieve certain things. A limit is a measurable quantity. Each and every word is having different meanings. Limit means something that is imposed. Limitation means shortcoming or incompatibility to achieve certain things. Limit means limit is a measurable quantity. Here other name of limitation is control or restriction or cramp, injection, obstruction or curb. These all other name for the limitations. Here what is mean by no limitation means without limits in extent or size or quantity. Limitless vastness of our solar system. Example. Here option C is the correct answer. Limitations is an act or instance of limiting or the quality or state of being limited, and something that limits or restrains. These all things comes under the meaning for the limitations. Limiting condition, restrictive weakness, lack of capacity, inability or handicap. He knows his limitations as writer. These all things comes under the meaning for the limitations. Next we will move on to question number 96. Symbiosis. What is symbiosis? Symbiosis should be. We will see here options first. Option A, between 100 and 600 watts in length. Option B, between 1000 and 4000 watts in length. Option C 1000 and 2000 words in length. Option D between 1000 and 5000 words in length. Synopsis. What is meant by synopsis? We will see first. Synopsis or synopsis. We can call anything like synopsis or synopsis. Synopsis is a brief summary which gives readers an overview of the main points. In an academic context, this is usually a summary of a text, but in some instances you might be writing a synopsis of a talk, film, or other from a presentation. How do you write a research synopsis? Synopsis can be structured in the following manner, means title, statement of the problem and hypothesis, aims and objectives, review of literature, research methodology, references, official requirements. Nothing but we have to give a title, name, statement, aims and objectives, review of literature, research methodology and references, official website. These all things comes under the synopsis. Using these all things manner, we have to write a journals, articles, books, reports. Like here option B is the correct answer, between the 1000 and 4000 words. Between the 1000 and 4000 words, although some are shorter, while the specific types of information you need to include in your synopsis. Here option B is the correct answer. A film synopsis and book synopsis is a summary that is plot focused. It summarizes the screenplay or novel anywhere from half a page to one full page. So here option B between the 1000 words and 4000 words in length is called as synopsis. Should be maintained between the length of 1000 words and 4000 words in length. Option B is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 97. Which one of the following is simple random sampling? Which one of the following from the options? One is there present in simple random sampling method. We will see options. Option A, researcher selects directly for sampling frame. Option B, researcher selects a subset of participants from a population. Option C, a non-probability strategy is used for results. Option D, the researcher has a certain quota of respondents to fill for various social groups. What is meant by simple random sampling? Simple random sampling is a type of probability sampling in which the researcher randomly selects a subset of participants from a population. Each member of the population has an equal chance of being selected. Here we are having option B, researchers select a subset of participants from a population. So option B is the correct answer here. What is simple random sampling technique? A simple random sample is a subset of a statistical population in which each member of the subset has a equal probability of being chosen. A simple random sampling means be ambiguous representation of a group. We are having four types of random sampling. Here we are having simple random sampling, systematic random sampling, stratified sampling and cluster sampling. Methods is considered simple because it's straightforward and implements a random process to select the sample. The random sampling method, the simple random sampling method, is one of the simplest and most common form of collection of data. So here option B is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 98. The process of reasoning from particular facts to general conclusion is. Here what is the process of reasoning from particular facts to general conclusion is. We will see here option A, inductive reasoning, option B, deductive reasoning, option C, judging, option D, negotiating. What is the process of conclusion? An effective conclusion contains three basic parts: a restatement of the speech themselves, a review of the main points discussed within the speech, and a concluding device that helps create a lasting image in audience minds. The process of reasoning from particular facts to general conclusion is called as inductive reasoning. What is meant by inductive reasoning? Inductive reasoning begins with observations that are specific and limited in scope and leads to a generalized conclusion that is likely but not certain in light of accumulated evidence. You could say that inductive reasoning moves from the specific to general. Here, what is meant by deductive reasoning also we have to know. Deductive reasoning is drawing conclusions based on premises generally assumed to be a true, also called as deductive logic. Here, a process of reasoning from particular facts to general conclusion is called as inductive reasoning. Here, option A is the correct answer. Next, we will move on to question number 99. Working out detailed plans for day-to-day activities is a function. Working out detailed plans for the day-to-day means day-to-day activities doing correctly. The function is, we will see options. First, option A, first level manager. Option B, second level manager. Option C, high level manager. Option D, low level manager. A way of doing, being done or happening, mode of action, occurrence, it, etc. I don't like the manner in which can be complained manners that prevalence, customs, way of living and habits of a people, class, period, etc. More and moreover, doing well, way of doing well and being done or happening, mode of action is occurrence. These all things related to the cleanliness and customer services would be responsible expected in upscale shopping malls. These all things comes under the first class of manner. So here the working out detailed plans for day by day activities, it is a good and best of manner, best meaning of manner, to do once must to make progress. This is the main purpose of the first level of manner. Here excellent, these all things comes under the first level of manner. Here we can say them excellent, exclusive, finest, first rate, 5-star and prime. These things, all things comes under the first level of manner. These all are the example for the good manner and good sentence for the mannerism. Here we are having option A, correct answer. Here, working out detailed plans for day by day activities in the function of a first level of manner. So here option A is the correct answer. Next we will move on to question number 100. This is last question in this part 3 and also related to the nursing research and management or the nursing research and education. Let's move on to question number 100. The directing function. The directing function, which is again a sub process of the management process, is ongoing and what? The directing function, which is again a sub process of the management process, is ongoing and we will see here options. First, option A, continuous. Option B, dynamic. Option C, motivation. Option D, planning. Directing sets in motion the action of people because planning, organizing and staffing are the most preparations for the doing the work. Direction is the aspect of management that deals directly with influencing, guiding and supervising and motivating staff for the achievement of organizational goals. Here directing is the continuous process. It is an ongoing process. It does not mean issuing an order or instruction, but a manner must continuously guide, inspire and supervise his subordinates so that organizational goals are achieved on time. Directing is said to be process in which the managers instruct, guide and performance of your workers to achieve predetermined goals. Directing refers to process of instructing, guiding, counseling, motivating. So here we are having motivation. Here motivation we are having, there is no planning, there is no dynamic, there is no continuous. We are having process of instructing, guiding and counseling, motivating and leading people. So here option C is the correct answer. Directing as a management function comprises the following elements. Elements are communication, supervision, motivation, leadership. These all are the sub functions of the directing. So here the directing function, which again sub process of management process, is ongoing and motivational or motivation. So here option C is the correct answer. This is last question in this part 3 related to the nursing research. Part 1 and part 2 I will give a link in description. Anybody not seen till now, anybody new to this channel, please check it once in description. I will give a link. One more thing I am remembering once again, please anybody want to me to make a video related to the important topic in nursing point of view related to the MHSRB August 2nd exam purpose. I will make a video about topics only, not questions and answers. Please give a comment and likes. While giving likes and comments, I will make a video. Otherwise we will move on, as usual we will discuss questions and answers only. This is part 3 related to the nursing research and education. Part 2 and part 1 classes I will give a link in description. Please check it once. Next upcoming classes, anybody want to me to give a important topics for the MHRB nursing purpose only. I am saying August 2nd we are having exam. That's why I am asking anybody want to me to make a video important topics related to the nursing subject, means give a comments and likes. Then I will make a video only for the important topics purpose. I will make a upcoming class. Otherwise we will discuss questions and answers with explanation. Thank you so much for watching my video. Anybody here new to this channel, please subscribe my channel, click on the bell icon for further notification, and please share your opinion in comment section. Give a like and share the video to your friends. Please click on the bell icon for further notification, and please give a like and keep watching. Stay tuned. Thank you so much.